to talk to you about this project. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
Right.
That's a meeting you're not passing up. So
Yep.
I was over there on time, actually 10 minutes early, because in the Army, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're already late.
Right.
And then the casting director was really funny, because the casting director was supposed to show up there too. She had never met me, and this was Sly's idea to bring another fighter, me, into this movie with all these amazing action stars. And so he's sitting me down, and he'd written the script, and it was originally talking about Hail Caesar as the character that he wanted to adapt from the written script already for me. He had written that role for Wesley Snipes, and Wesley was having some issues. And so he was going to revamp that role to fit me. He wanted me to quote Nietzsche and talk about my cauliflower ears and be this college-educated wrestler that had went into the special forces and became a mercenary. And he kind of we had this conversation. Casting director was 10 minutes late. So him and I are on the couch just talking about all this stuff that he sees. And the casting director's freaking out because she's late for a meeting with Stallone. She comes charging in the room, bumps his bookcase. And he had all these action figures stacked in this bookcase from all the different movies that he'd been in. And one of them was Cobra. Cobretti. Nielsen, his ex-wife at this time, right? So when she bumps that bookcase, Brigitte Nielsen falls from the top level all the way down to the floor. Sly's like, Jesus, I could have used you a few years ago. Where were you? And we bust out laughing because it was his ex-wife's action figure that had fallen on the floor.
Right.
That broke the ice. We had this amazing conversation about this ensemble cast that he was bringing together and how he saw me fitting in and all of that. Well, a week later, I get a call from my agent saying, hey, he picked up Terry Crews to play Hail Caesar. I'm like, oh man, all right, well, that makes sense. Terry's an amazing guy and he's perfect for that role. He's great comedic relief for all the action and all the other stuff that's in the script.
Yep.
And but he wrote you into the movie. He created the character Toll Road based on your conversation and wrote you into the movie. So you're still in the movie. I'm like, what?
Great.
Wow. Okay.
Amazing.
Well, obviously, I was flattered and honored that he thought enough of me as a fighter and a person after that conversation that he went to writing, as he does. He's an amazing writer, a very smart man. And he wrote me into the film and kept me on. So Toll Road.
Sequels later, you're the core now. You and a few others.
We just had 4. We shot 4 in 2021 and 2022, and it just hit the theaters a couple of months back in September. Obviously, the strike was going on, so none of us actors were able to really promote the film. Right. But the media received it very, very well. The 15 premieres they did that were all attended by the media were over 90% attended, every single one of them. So I think it's done fairly well in the theaters. I haven't heard any official numbers. But I got more screen time and more lines in Expendables 4 than I've gotten in any of the other ones. So I feel like I'm headed in the right direction. Every time I put myself out there, I learn some new tools and new skills in the process of being an actor. And it's been fun. It's been really interesting. It's certainly a lot easier than getting punched in the face.
No kidding. Even when you got your version of Randy Couture punching Jet Li, right? It's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Come a long way since then.
Did Jet Li remember that all those years later?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he remembered that. We talked about that on Expendables 1 because he was on Expendables 1 and we laughed about it. And then in Expendables 3, Terry, the same, he was the second unit director, which is basically a director that does all the stunts and all the fight scenes and stuff. Well, he was also our second unit director, the same. When I ran Jet over,
same guy
that freaked out. I just ran over the start of the movie, and we met him. I reconnected with him on Expendables 3, and we were laughing about that. I hadn't seen him since then, and that was 2012 or 2013. So it's been well over 10 years since I run a different
place that second time around too.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates.